Well, everybody, Kuso6rande is here, going strong for its 6th year. We are currently in the winner's bracket round 2, and I'm going to run a quick little ad. It'll probably be one of those vote ads as I do a tiny bit of setup. So go ahead, stay tuned, grab a bit of water. We'll be back. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, my cousin was saying the urge to play Destiny of an Emperor Rising. It really is a fun game. At the same time, I feel like I'm getting like no response, or it almost felt like my internet died for a little bit because nobody was like sending messages there. And then I looked at Discord and nobody was sending messages. And then I looked at myself and I wasn't sending any messages. And Discord's being weird to me. I don't know. Y'all still there? Hello? Dana, your Discord just locked up. There we go. People are talking now. Good. I hear more noise in the middle of church than chat was having for a second there. I know it's Sunday, but geez. Thank you for the butt. Thank you for saying hi and confirming that I'm not just delusional. Apparently, the stuff was breaking for everybody. Maybe Mega Comcast was having problems. You know what? We need to get moving because Kuso6rande doesn't wait for anybody except for... Actually, it waits for a lot of people. Whatever. Let's just get this reveal done, okay? Because our GM for game number 3 is the Garby the Glitcherous. Garby, come and chat. I want to find out what game you're given for the new Game Plus round. This is a game that has been on Kuso6rande before, but we have not seen the whole game, and simply put, we wanted to throw players into the middle to see a little bit more of the action. Hello there, Garb.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm excited for this.
I'm excited for it. Yeah, I've seen a decent amount of this game, and I think I've seen you do speedruns of the game as well.
Yeah, I've run this game before. Today we'll be doing Ottifants for the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, look at that one Ottifant. There's a demonic Ottifant. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Where are we starting in the game?
So we're going to be starting on the 4th section of construction. I gave them a password for it.
Okay, you gave them a password. We're going to be starting on the 4th section. That will be a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. Sorry, I just realized that I thought I was changing settings somewhere, and I didn't.
Oh.
Well, that's okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and work on getting things set up. But let's chat a little bit. What has been going on in life? How are you doing? Anything exciting?
I've been doing good. I don't know if I said it, but I did recently like move, so that's exciting.
Oh yeah, you moved. Yeah. Did that go okay?
Yeah, I'm enjoying where I'm right now. I moved to the Minnesota area, so that's exciting.
Minnesota. Okay. I have never been out that way. It has to be cold though, right?
Well, it's pretty cold. That's where SGDQ is, like now, usually.
Oh, okay.
It's in person.
Yeah, here's the deal. Even though, like, my sister technically started SGDQ, I haven't been ever since it moved out of Colorado. Which, to be fair, it needed to, because the hotels weren't exactly the best options there. But yeah, maybe one day I'll go to Minnesota and meet everybody there once this nightmare ends. Y'all know what I'm talking about, not just some random nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the random ones can stop too, you know? All nightmares! And I should have used that as my wish. Like for Never-Ending Story, instead of wishing for someone's head to explode, end the nightmares. End the pandemic. Also make the witch's head explode. That's fine too. Oh my gosh, meet everybody in Minnesota, literally everybody. We are doing a Minnesota meetup, I guess. Yeah. With that said, everybody is going to be... Huh. I just found something that apparently I deactivated? What the crap was I doing when I was, like, doing changes during the last game? Apparently, my brain just decided to actually disable all of the useful features that I had set up for your audio. How could my brain sabotage me like this? See? I can hear you great now.
Yay.
Yay! Oh, I do not like the music that Tetsuya has up.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, go listen to it. This is creepy.
I think this song goes on for a really long time. I usually don't hear this.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing the cursed nightmare music.
What song even is this? I don't even know. I don't think I've heard this.
The song is 15.
I wonder if it's the continue thing, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, well, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and end the nightmare that is this music. Thank you, Tetsuya, for freeing us from the nightmare that was Music 15. Now let's go ahead and do the countdown. So everybody needs to spam emotes. What would be the best emotes for players to spam?
I guess maybe elephants, and I guess like puppets, because I guess what's
construction. Yeah. Get spamming, everybody. Elephants and other things that are very British, I suppose. Are elephants British? I don't think elephants are that British.
I don't think so. It said explicitly.
Well, we had a handful of emails. Look, spam whatever. Yeah, tea, yeah. I'm not British, although my ancestors do come from the British Isles. Sure, I'll go ahead and spam my face a bunch. Wow. Okay, never mind. Apparently I'm gonna mess that up. Well, the players are off to a quick start in Ottifants. Tell me a little bit about this game, Garb. What is happening? What is this stage all about?
So this stage has a lot of like back and forth. Like you need to go back and forth and hit switches. And probably the fastest strat is to take some intentional deaths, but I don't know if they'll really be intentionally trying to do that since they don't really know this game too well.
Yeah, for sure. I would be trying to conserve my health as much as possible, and my lives. Especially since I probably wouldn't know the game over continue situation and what happens when you do. It looks like there are probably checkpoints that if you die, you go back to the checkpoints, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what about when you game over? What happens with that?
Yeah, so you get 3 continues, and after that you have to go back to the last password you got. You do get a password after every set of levels.
Okay, good.
And here there's I want to say that there's three main levels and a boss in this level. Oh, and it looks like Pikachu's got some speed shoes.
Very nice.
And so the way that works is that the lollipops let you get them. Ooh, it looks like Tetsuya got all of them, yay, and got some very useful points. So the way hard mode works is that you need to collect at least 75% of the gummies, and it varies depending on the difficulty. And easy you only need 25%, and normally you need 50, but here you need 75.
Okay. And then after that, yeah, you just go and touch the elephant and you're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard difficulty does make this a little bit more of a frustrating collectathon, in my opinion. I've never been a fan of collectathons. People who have watched Kuso6rande before would be no surprise, or would not be surprised at all about that. How do you get down to the elephant below Pika Pals?
Oh, so there's a switch that activates that you need to press that's, I think, a lot earlier in the level, and then after that, there will be a platform that you can use to get the elephant.
Ah, of course, a switch earlier on in the level, yes.
Yeah.
The switch, okay, I'm of the opinion that if there is a switch in the game, it is usually a good idea to, like, let the players see or at least know what the switch did. Because without giving that context, you know, oh, wait, maybe it's right here that Pika Pal's just trying to inch towards it but doesn't want to die. That's probably the switch, I would guess.
It is really easy to just die when trying to get the switch because the spikes are so close to it.
This is the intended way?
Yeah, this is the
Oh my
way.
gosh, this is... Okay, I'm not a fan of this. You're almost there, Pika Pals. Just... There you go, you got it.
I definitely don't blame him for, like, just inching forward because just the spikes are really scary.
Yeah. This far into the game, like, having something that is that precise, if the game doesn't teach you that there are going to be extremely precise things that you have to do, honestly, I would be suspecting that, you know, maybe there's a switch to get rid of the spikes or something like that, but that's annoying. I like it. Okay, well, Pika Pal's finishing the level and exploding into tons of candy elephants or something, and Tetsuya through another level. I think Tetsuya has actually beaten a couple levels at this point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the third level, so this level I kind of feel was broadly designed as kind of like a test level because there's just stuff scattered around everywhere without, it doesn't really seem like there was much thought put into it. Because, like, it just has, like, a lot of things scattered around, like, and not really that, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually thought a lot about this when it comes to game design, the idea of how to structure levels, because a lot of modern games, especially a lot of modern indie games, make it so that every level that you get to is harder. But why do you have to do that? You don't really need to, you know? Having sort of a playground level is worth doing. Though I'd say that I'm more angry about that stupid switch that Pika Pal's got a little while ago than having a level that sort of doesn't have any coherent layout. But at the same time, I don't know. I've got a lot of opinions.
Oh, and right there, Pika Pal's got a bonus room a little bit ago, and what they do is that if you get 100%, you get some extra points, and I bet you're wondering what the points do.
Yeah, what do the points do?
They do absolutely nothing, except you can brag to your friends about getting a high score.
Yeah, everybody brag! Go online and brag about your score!
Oh, so you figured out about the super Ottifant power up. If you get, I want to say it's 3 yellow lollipops, you can turn into super Ottifant, and you can just fly around.
I mean, maybe that's probably useful in some cases, unless it makes it a little uncontrollable.
It can definitely be useful, but it's hard to get it in a lot of cases, so it isn't helpful that frequently.
By the way, everybody, I did have lunch show up, so if you hear weird wrestling on my end, I apologize. It just means that I am enjoying my food. and I'll try not to speak with my mouth full of food. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely understand.
Is it a burrito? Well, no. No, it's a hamburger. Which is good. I like burgers. Not as good as burritos, but still nice.
And yeah, Tetsuya seems to be doing pretty well. He's getting pretty close to being finished with this level. And this level also has 100 gummies, unlike most levels that have more than that. So it does take a lot of experience to get all of them.
Ah, yeah.
It looks like he'll get another super Ottifant power-up, which can definitely help. Oh, and one other thing the difficulty changes is that it changes how long you have the power-up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so in hard mode you only keep it for 10 seconds, but I think in easy you keep it for 20, so that's a pretty big change. And that's the end of that one for Tetsuya.
There we go. Tetsuya is through the level onto the boss here, huh?
Yeah.
Why does every level have a or why does every game have to have a construction site level? Like, I'm not sure why that is a trope in video games.
Yeah. This is probably one of the more tricky bosses because you have to be careful with positioning and you have to use the paint can that spawns and hit the enemy with the paint can to deal damage.
Yeah.
In general, though, the bosses in this game are pretty neat. The way they work is that if you hit one with a projectile, it does 10 points of damage. But hitting them with the fire only does one, so you'll generally want to use the projectiles if you can.
I love that Chad is mentioning that kids love construction vehicles. Okay, I understand that. What are you constructing with this vehicle? Can anybody tell me what this vehicle's purpose is? If anybody can... Oh, pain? Okay, building pain, yeah. Death! The death! Dozer.
Yeah, looks like a big drill, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll go ahead and let you have that one, chat. Like, maybe I don't know, I wasn't the kind of kid who cared about construction equipment. I guess my dad worked at a mine, and I was like, oh, big deal.
So, what Tetsuya seems to be having some trouble with is that if you try to suck up the paint can from the left, if you're too close to it, you'll just miss it entirely, and that's something that's pretty tricky to get used to, and that you really have to adjust to. So, I'm not surprised that that's...
I've actually... Yeah, oh my gosh. Let me talk about, like, the big trucks and such, because my father worked at a mine. Like, I actually got to ride in some of those trucks a few times, and like the giant ones that like you have to climb multiple ladders in order to get to the top just to get into the machine. They're kind of fun. They're kind of fun to ride around in. Absolutely terrifying when like they don't stay completely horizontal, because a lot of the times they have to put down legs and stuff in order to stay stable, or working on surfaces that aren't completely smooth. Like, people who do that have guts. I've also heard about times when those things rolled, and you never want them to roll. As my cousin is saying in chat, it's like driving a building. Yeah, if you have a building tip over, it's not good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what's this stage that Tetsuya has gotten to?
This is like I think it's called the office, but it has a lot of electrical things and such, so it's pretty dangerous, and the music is really a jam. I really like this music.
This is really good. Yeah. Office buildings, I'll go ahead and say that offices aren't quite as common in video games. So I'll go ahead and say, good job. This is like after construction ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, oh my gosh, now that we're at this stage, thank you so much. I wasn't a fan of the early stages in this game, because first stage, guess what? You're playing as a baby and you are in a room of toys. I usually hate toy worlds just because all of the toys are like for 3-year-olds, and I don't want to be playing a baby game, but you know, here we are, Tetsuya. Even though you're a baby elephant, you are in a rockin' office with rockin' music, and it's really cool. I'm gonna say that somehow this is the coolest office in existence.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's also like those bar charts that are there, so yeah. And like clocks and such. And just random gummies throughout. I guess those are supposed to be lights, those things, I think.
Okay, so Ubi, you're saying the baby hate returns. Let me just ask everybody here in chat. When you pick up a platformer, are you ever glad? Is anybody here ever like, what does this game need? A toy level that has the letter blocks and for some reason walking tin soldiers. Does anybody ever think that? Because if yes, then kudos, then good job. But honestly, I don't think anybody out there ever thinks that.
It's definitely not my least favorite aesthetic, honestly.
Yeah, it's the aesthetic. I don't like the aesthetic. It doesn't make you angry. I guess I just get angry over stupid stuff. Like, games don't need sewer levels. I never think of... there are a few cases where sewer levels make sense, like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, but most games don't need that. Most games do not need giant letter blocks. It's just... I don't know. Even as, like, a young kid, I was like, I've outgrown that. What about Toy Story? Okay, Toy Story is a little bit of an exception, and even though I would say that Andy is a little bit older, he has a little sister, okay? Isn't she Maggie or Molly or something like that? And so she would have the building block toys. So within that context, it completely makes sense to have them, yes. That would not upset me.
I still think I like toy levels more than sewer levels, though, honestly.
I don't. Yeah. It's just an aesthetic that, like, I never cared for as a kid, and I haven't outgrown that. Then again, maybe I grew up with a very specific mindset that, you know, certain things are for certain age groups, and certain items are for certain people, and oh my gosh, Garb, let me tell you, I wanted a Barbie when I was young, okay? Specifically a Ken doll, and I think my dad was angry about that at first, like actually legitimately angry that I wanted a Ken doll when I was young, but they got it for me. And honestly, I feel like a lot of fathers in that era wouldn't have gotten their boy a Ken doll. But sort of the logic in my mind was, you know, girls play with Barbies and boys play with Ken dolls. And then I grew up and, you know, I'm gay, so, you know, that might say part of it. But, like, seriously, my dad grew so much as a person back when I was a kid. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I think have a complicated relationship, I'd say. This isn't a therapy session, so I won't go too much into it, but he's definitely come a long way as a person, and I'm really glad he has.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyways, with that said, I don't know if I would have played a video game with Barbies until I was an adult, until I learned to appreciate the finer things in life, you know? But building blocks, I don't know. I don't care for them. I never cared. Yeah. Like, even... Never mind, I'm gonna stop talking, okay? Because I could definitely get in trouble. Oh, now people are quoting Zombie Dad in my chat. Yeah, my dad also had a kind of morbid sense of humor. But honestly, yeah. He's a good guy now. He's a good guy. Okay, so Garb, it looks like Tetsuya is struggling with the stage, Pikapow's struggling with an earlier stage. What is the main difficulty that people struggle with when they start playing Ottifants? What is hard?
The controls can be pretty tricky to get used to.
Yeah, isn't it fairly slippery?
Yeah, and especially in hard mode, you have to find a lot of big collectibles, so you really have to scour the stage for stuff.
Okay, gotcha. So, yeah, I've never really liked collectathons too much. For one main reason, a lot of collectathons, everything just feels very samey. But this stage, everything actually seems fairly diverse as you get higher. You know, the background changes so that there are more windows. You can see a lot more of the scenery. I'd say that for a collectathon, this stage is pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, one other thing is that the knockback can be... The being knocked back when enemies hit you, it can sometimes get you into a one-hit kill pretty easily. And also, stomping on enemies is pretty inconsistent, and if you do that, you'll sometimes just take damage.
Yeah, I don't love that.
But one cool thing with the lollipop is that if you use them correctly, you can skip portions of the level, but it's a lot harder to do that in like hard mode because you have to still get the collectible.
Mm-hmm.
But in easy mode, you can skip pretty big sections of the level, so that's kind of more fun in my opinion to play.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say somebody is pointing out that they don't like collectathons because they're lazy, and I sort of agree, but more so, a lot of collectathons require you to get every single blank item. You know, it doesn't really matter what the item is, you just have to get every single one. This game is actually very nice in that it encourages exploration, but if there are places that are just too difficult or too annoying, or you forget a location that you wanted to go to or that you hadn't gone to, you're not going to be backtracking the entire time because you don't need every single one. You need a percentage. And I think that is a better... I'm complimenting this game, okay, Garb? I'm complimenting this game because it makes the game more tolerable. You know, takes away one key element of frustration that a lot of collectathons have, the backtracking. And you have to do a little bit in this, but not nearly as much as some of the others.
Yeah, so Tetsuya is kind of in a situation where he needs to only get like one more, and he's having to like look all around for it, and that's kind of the tricky thing with hard mode.
Yeah, but if it's only 75% that you need, oh, Tetsuya managed to take the block and has enough to get through the stage. Very nice. I kind of like that, you know, backtracking and using a block to go a little bit higher up worked out. Good.
Yeah, Another thing that can be tricky to figure out is that if you aren't given the controls, then it can be tricky to figure out that you can just blow on the blocks and things. But I did tell them that you can do that, and so that wouldn't be an issue.
Oh my gosh, music makes or breaks a lot of games as well. Like, you can play a lot of very frustrating games if they have great music or great graphics. This game actually has both. Like, I hate how ugly the Ottifant is, but that's just because that's how the character was designed, you know? That's the original design of the comic character. So, you know, if I'm going to complain to anybody, it's whoever made these ugly things. Nat, thank you so much for gifting some subs to people. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you everybody for having fun during the tournament.
Yay! Oh yeah, the GBC Ottifants game is pretty neat. Well, maybe neat's going a little far, but like there's a surprising amount of Ottifants games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say that in general, you know, a music will not completely save a game, okay? You have to have a core, decent game at the bottom, but it can often, like, be enough to redeem it in many people's eyes, as long as if a game sounds good, you can deal with a whole lot more. And if a game sounds bad, then it's much more difficult to actually deal with the game. Like, simply put, if Wizard of Oz Super Nintendo had this music right here, it would feel out of place, sure, but at the same time, it would be a whole lot more dealable. Instead, oh my gosh, the music is so bad.
Oh, that's game over for Pika Pals. I don't think he beat the construction site, so he'll need to go back to that set of levels. Oh, luckily it does like have your password on there if you game over, so that helps. Oh, what is he doing? Did he get? Maybe he got another password.
I think Pika Pals was making a mistake. Gonna be resetting and getting back probably to the password screen. And wait, did Tetsuya? Is there no password after the construction site?
Oh, yes, there is, but I don't think he wrote the new password down.
Oh, the password boss. Oh, wait. Okay, let's see if Tetsuya did. I don't think so. Welcome to games, everybody. Yeah, getting through the password screen really quickly saves a tiny bit of time, but only if you don't get game over. Well.
Well, he still does have the lead, Tetsuya does, because he got to the office.
Yeah, he made a lot of progress in the office. Like, honestly, Pika Pals has been struggling so much with the construction site, which I think is the normal way of playing this game. Tetsuya is just so good at video games. Pika Pals too. Some games just don't work for specific people. And this game is one of those that Pika Pals is not doing quite as well with. But things can always change in the second half of the match, you know. One of the players that I like to bring up, Rain of Soten, is one of those. He always goes slower in the beginning, and then in the second half of the match, bam, just catches up and often takes the victory. It's one of the biggest differences for players that I've seen happen in Kuso6rande, what he does. Wait, you can just walk through the spikes if you're not jumping?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, I don't know if the players know that, but I know that now.
Yeah, it can kind of be helpful.
Oh, that's super helpful. Every little piece of knowledge that you get about the game is helpful. Oh.
Yeah.
Llama Lana spikes indeed. And I actually really like spikes like that. The thing is, they have to teach you that that's how spikes work, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of games, like, don't teach you that at all. Instead, it's just something that you kind of eventually figure out if you have played, like, for 5 hours and then accidentally walk into spikes and they don't hurt you. Tetsuya is trying to get... Okay, slow and steady. There you go. Opening up the ending of the stage. Pika Pals onto the next stage. I hope that Pika Pals manages to get to the office as well fairly soon, because that music is 100% worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, this music at the construction site is okay. It works for what it is. It's just not as stellar as The Office.
Yeah. And hey, 100 extra points for getting 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I just love like the secret rooms in this game that literally only like the only practical purpose they do is lose you time because you have to spend time getting through them.
How do you quote unquote earn a bonus stage?
Oh, there's just a random thing. There's just a random location that you have to get to that you can't see, and there's no indication that there's a bonus stage there.
Are you serious? Oh no. Can you get extra lives from that at all, or is it no?
It's just points. So there, yeah. I think, yeah, there are one-ups in this game, yes, but that's about. Well, by getting, yeah, there's just like collectibles in the levels and one-ups is the main source of them.
Yeah, I actually am okay with scores existing if they have some additional purpose these days. Like getting a certain score, giving an extra life, adds a little bit more of like the challenge, the risk versus reward, because nobody wants to go after a quote-unquote reward that's extremely difficult and only gives you points. Who cares? Nobody cares. However, if there is some impact on gameplay, people are much more willing to risk that. You know, you could potentially get an extra life, but you could also die. What are you going to do? It's those types of decisions that end up being really fun for players when it comes to score. Otherwise, nobody's going to brag about their Ottifants score.
Honestly, I think I have more of an appreciation for high scores than most people, but I don't know. I don't really.
I do for old games. For old games. Like, especially if I've done the high score attempts for Millipede on the Atari. I love that game, and it is all about trying to get a high score. But again, every time that you, I believe, get another 1,000 or 10,000 points, you get an extra life. So it both gives you an incentive to do well and encourages you to keep collecting the points, even... Like, all of the progress in that game is based off of points, so it's a very important metric.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like in order to mean something for most people, score has to have some sort of impact on the gameplay. But again, that's for most people. Yeah, have you done some high score attempts for games?
Yeah, I sometimes do it. Like, it's fun to do it for, like, rhythm games and such.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Rhythm games, I'm gonna say that's, like, the modern-day exception, because that's all about the score. Getting a high score is absolutely a bragging right, and it looks like the internet's dying for me.
Oh yeah, I had to refresh.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay, I think we're back.
yay. Oh, and you'll also see the.
Hmm?
Oh, I was waiting to make sure the stream is okay, but you see like the points that are there, the papers that are flying around. The only purpose of those is for the good ending. If you get all of the papers, you get the good ending. What those papers are supposed to be is you're trying to place your papers for your dad so that he can do his job well, and he lost all his papers, so you need to get them back, and that's how to get the good ending.
By the way, I'm going to blame Comcast because everything seemed to pause on my end and I dropped frames, so it was definitely whatever. We can blame Comcast for whatever crap we want. Wow. My burger started getting cold. Comcast. It's all Comcast's fault.
Yeah. Oh, this is a pretty good strat by Pika Pals. It's definitely a little safer. He's just kind of slowly dealing damage by firing those. I guess
It worked.
Whatever those are at the enemy. I guess those are supposed to be like clown, like just like those kind of play balls that you get at like favors, I guess.
Yeah. By the way, Pika Pals probably wrote down the password, and that could be a significant factor in who wins this match. Tetsuya is still trying to catch back up to the office. The thing is, I completely understand, like, the players skipping past the password screen because it's not super obvious that the level select is a password screen. Or not the level select, that the world preview of what's coming up. It's not super obvious that's a password screen, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Things that would make it easier to distinguish, by the way, having it in a different font or size. I'm not a big fan of having different fonts, but having it possibly larger would be fine. Or have it highlighted, shining, give it some sort of animation so that people's eyes are drawn to it. Placing it in a different location, possibly giving it a different color. Just figure out a way to make the password stand out so people, once they see the screen, they know what's up there, and Tetsuya skips it again.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Like, if Tetsuya wins this match, it's gonna it'll be because of his skill at playing platformers, and definitely not his ability to read passwords.
Oh. Yeah, it could be close. Like, I think Tetsuya made it to the second level in the office set of levels. So it depends on how Pika Pals does here. And
Yeah,
Tetsuya
honestly,
did
it still is
make
anyone's game. Tetsuya is still in the lead, but Pika Pals could definitely pass Tetsuya, and I think due to having the password, at least I hope Pika Pals has the password. He waited on that screen for a while. If Pika Pals does have the password, I think a lead change is very likely.
Oh, yeah.
This wouldn't be the first time that a password boss comes to haunt somebody, and it won't be the last. Oh my gosh, this music is so good. I just want to listen to this music for the rest of the day.
Yeah, there's some really great music in this game. It wasn't giving off the best impression with the music Tetsuya played at the beginning, but the music is really good.
Okay, yeah, that one is dumb. But if it's a very small stage and it's not like you're going to be in the stage for minutes at a time, then whatever. It's fine. But it's dumb.
I want to say that that was the continue music, and you normally only hear that for like about 10 seconds at the most, and you don't have it keep playing.
Okay, if it's the continue music, that almost is appropriate. I love it.
And Pika Pals almost has enough to beat the stage. Oh, but that's game over. Or no, he's gonna lose.
Yeah. Pika Pals unfortunately has to start over, start this stage over, and collect everything again. Which, honestly, I don't know, as long as you can still say, hey, I made a certain amount of progress before getting a game over, it's kind of fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal, Garb. I think that I'm coming to a pretty solid conclusion about my opinions of this game. Now that I've watched some of the later levels extensively, this is why we do the New Game Plus, or the Reoccurring Nightmares New Game Plus. Partly because, you know, the first two levels aren't always very representative of a video game. And now that we're at this part, like, there's so much good here. The graphics are so good. The music for this section, so good. Like, the controls still not great, but I'd even say that the level design for this stage not only encourages exploration, but actually helps facilitate it, just because, you know, it gives you specific challenges that you have to figure out. The different areas look vastly different, like Pika Pals down in the basement, it's a lot darker. As you start climbing, you start getting windows to the outside, the walls get gray. As you go further and further up, the windows get bigger, so you see more of the outside. Like, there's a logical visual progression to this stage and where you are, and that is extremely helpful when it comes to any sort of exploration game. The people who designed this really did a good job. The game has flaws, yes, but I'm very impressed by the design aspects here.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty neat game. I'd say this is definitely on the border of, almost on the border of too good for Kuso, but I think there are like enough things that it'd be good to have, like especially earlier on. But these levels are pretty fun.
Honestly, the controls, as well as some of the like oddly difficult sections, like it doesn't really teach you how to get through certain mechanics that, you know, better games would help give you more of a tutorial for how to get through things. Also, other games, unlike what Pika Pals had happen to him, show spikes before you touch them.
Yeah, that's definitely something that is with this game.
Yeah, like, having insta-death things that you can't see, never a good idea.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if... Are the spikes insta-death?
Yeah, the spikes are instant death.
Okay, yeah, having spikes that are out of view, that based off of a jump in order to get up somewhere, they will kill you and you will touch them. That part isn't great, but the visual style and, like, cohesiveness and the way that, you know, it's very easy to understand where you are in a maze-like level without a map, I love it. Seriously, this is a good note for anybody designing levels. Have the variety so that people know where they are.
Yeah. It does look like Tetsuya made it back to the second level of the office, so so he could make more progress here. And he is in the lead now. He is like farther along.
He is, yes.
Pika Pals is right now. Pika Pals is still trying to finish the first level.
Honestly, it took Tetsuya a good amount of time. I'm not too surprised that Pika Pals is struggling.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he got like a game over, or wants to continue right before having enough. But what's this power up? Oh, that's 500 very useful points.
Ha! The best power up, 500 points.
One of the power-ups you can get is an extra continue, which can be useful in some cases.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm gonna step away for about 10 seconds. Be right back.
Okay, yeah. Hey, yay, another bonus stage. Oh, I'm not gonna be mean to Bro.
Yeah, you better not be.
Oh, you're back, hello.
Hello.
Like, nice person, Shinsu, yeah.
Yeah, I do like that Tetsuya ended up in a bonus stage. Got out of it relatively quickly, though.
Yeah, the bonus stages generally have like different links that you can be you have to complete them, but there isn't a way to exit them early as far as I know.
Are you serious? Oh.
Yeah, some of them go on for as long as 40 seconds as well, so it can take a while if you accidentally enter one and there's a long time limit.
I mean, that's fine for a casual playthrough, but in a race setting, you do not want to get locked into a useless area for a set amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay, my burger has been destroyed. So, yeah, I'm happy. Pika Pals finishes the level and is almost caught up to Tetsuya, although Tetsuya, I think, is going to beat this level relatively soon.
Yeah, oh.
Oh, spike to the butt!
Oh.
That'll do it. Oh my gosh, I love how close this match is. It's a lot of fun. If Tetsuya gets a game over, though, and doesn't realize that there's a password, I think Pika Pals will pass him. But
yeah.
I don't know how many continues Tetsuya has used at this point.
I don't think he's used that many. I think either 0 or 1 so far, so I think he still has at least 2 now, but I don't remember.
Yeah, now that I'm able to look up a little bit more information as well about the game, let me go ahead and say, yeah, this music was by Jason Page. You'll recognize his music from other games like Rainbow Islands in 1990. There's Superman, Man of Steel, Rise of the Robots, Three Ninjas Kick Back. A lot of games that aren't exactly great. But remember, there are plenty of bad games out there that have great music. You know, it's a completely separate thing. How about The Mummy in 2005? That's for PlayStation 2 and Windows. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I've got for you. The most important, though, I think one of the best games that he's worked on all of the list here in 2018 was working on Fe. That's F-E. Which ended up being, I think, a fairly awesome artsy game. I haven't played it, but it looks really cool.
I want to say I've seen runs of it, and it looks really like a really beautiful game, and so it's really cool.
Yeah, he may have just worked more on some of the game engine support, but still, helping out with that is pretty dang awesome. So thank you, Jason Page, for bringing us these hot tunes. I hope that you are still doing music from time to time, because this is really good.
Yeah.
I like that Ascorian is asking, why is your health bar a jar of orange juice? Do you have... Is it orange juice?
I've heard a lot of people say different things about what it's supposed to be.
I would prefer orange juice. Like, orange juice rocks.
Yeah, orange juice. I've heard a lot of different things. Yeah,
Maybe...
and orange juice is probably the thing I want to believe it is the most.
Could be his blood. I don't know. I've never seen an elephant bleed. Might be orange.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are species. There is an incredibly finicky trick you can pull off that you can jump again when you're in the wall, but I haven't really ever done it consistently, and it's not something I generally expect to get to do and run.
Oh, chit chat. Hey, chat. You all make me laugh. I love it. Yeah, Tetsuya is just trying to figure out any way to get more of the key objects. But wait. Did Pika Pals pass Tetsuya? I believe.
Oh, yeah, I think this is a late change because he has more percent now.
There we go. Both of them clearing the stage at the same time. Pika Pal's just possibly a tiny bit before Tetsuya, though it's really hard to say due to stream delay. Let me go ahead and refresh both of the streams so that we can have everything caught up as much as possible, as much in sync as we can. This is a super close death and a game over for Pika Pals, but Pika Pals is able to continue and continues on this stage. Now, I think that Tetsuya still has continues, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think he has like one more set of continues, one more continue after he loses all his lives.
Yeah, this is right now the score, the percent that you see up at the top of the screen, that is the difference between first and last.
Yeah.
And honestly, we're going to see a lot of lead changes over the next few minutes until one player establishes... I was going to say establishes dominance. I guess that works, you know?
This is one stage that's really like, has a lot of backtracking and is pretty tedious if you don't use like the lollipops in the correct order. But if you use them, you can double jump and skip some otherwise tedious section.
Yeah, okay. That would definitely help. There we go at Pika Pals, passing Tetsuya just by a couple percent. Tetsuya currently doing a climb and collecting a couple more of these elephant gummies. Yeah, what better than... Actually, then again, we like candy that's shaped like people.
Oh yeah, I'm noticing some crispy audio, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, have fun with the crispy audio.
Yeah, it might be on Tetsuya's end.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm listening to his stream and it's on his end, yeah.
So too bad, everybody, we're stuck with it.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh, that is, ooh, like an air fryer.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in the suck mechanic. I'm just gonna say that right now, okay? Because occasionally, you know, you gotta grab the boxes with your nose, but it looks like you can pull things from a distance occasionally in order to move them closer to you, and that is really cool. Not a mechanic that you see very often in games, especially games that are not about vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also, one thing, unfortunately, is that it isn't listed in the... I think you have to have, like, if you don't have the manual, it can be hard to figure out if that's a thing you can do.
Okay. Yeah, did the players have the manual for this game?
Nah, but I gave them controls. I think that the manual is in like, I think... it's a European game, so it's not in English.
Yeah, you did mention that they can move platforms, so you were at least that kind.
Yeah.
I still think this match is going to come down to Tetsuya and the password boss.
Yeah, it could really do that.
Which is fine, you know? That is what password bosses are all about. They're just here to ruin your day because of passwords and crap. Pika Pal's unfortunately on the wrong side of a wall, can't really get up there that way. However, Pika Pal's has found a few more of the candies and has a mushroom? Cloud has a nuke? Why do you have a nuke, elephant? Get rid of it. Okay, nuke's gone.
So one thing that's tricky about the lollipops is that it's also dependent on the order that you collect them in. So if you accidentally collect them in the wrong order, you'll get a different power up.
Oh, are you serious? Okay,
Yeah.
I both love and hate that. Like, I love that you can get different power-ups out of the same objects. I hate that... Oh... And I do love that the idea that, you know, you can make it so that players can mess up and get them in the wrong order. It's just that as a player, I would be very frustrated with that. And honestly, you know, power-ups... Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that there are good and bad things about it, and that I'm not going to fault the creators of the game for that. It's a decision.
Yeah. This part that Tetsuya's on, it can be really tricky to get on that platform without getting knocked back. That part that he was just on.
Oh my gosh.
You can like maneuver strategically, like try to like jump and then suck up the platform at the right time to avoid having to go on the platform, but it can be tricky to do that.
I'm not gonna lie, if my last job had an office that was this awesome looking, I wouldn't have left it. I don't know if Kuso6rande would still exist. I left because... Okay, this isn't the only reason I left my last job, but part of it was because I specifically asked when we moved to a new building, to a building that has tons of windows. Basically, there are windows everywhere. I was like, as long as I am near a window, then that will be fine. And I got put in the one spot in the entire 3-floor building. The one spot that you cannot see a window from. And I was so angry about that because that was my only request when moving to a new office, okay? Listen to your employees, everybody. Because when they request things and only make one request and you don't give that request, or at least even take into consideration, and it would have been trivial to give it to them, they're not going to be happy.
Yeah, and that's definitely, that's really unfortunate.
I was so angry about it. Like, I don't think they knew I was going to be that angry, but I was.
Oh.
Yeah, here's the deal. Tetsuya did get a game over, but Pika Pals did as well. Did Pika Pals beat the stage that Tetsuya's on?
Yeah, Tetsuya, or Pika Pals beat the stage, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Honestly, I think, you know, Tetsuya is still having a good push, but I can feel the frustration coming from his end. Oh my gosh. How do you even get those collectibles without dying?
Oh, I would guess that you would need to put like a block there or something, or you would need to double jump, maybe.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're completely right. But I'm impatient. I don't want to do either of those.
That's definitely understandable.
I would say this game is not for me, or at least that. I do think that it is kind of a cool idea to have, you know, ways that people can deal with certain puzzle aspects, or other ways that you can complete objectives while, you know, having a punishment like losing a life. You know, it's, again, fine video game design, as long as you have a way that's completable without dying, a way that's completable without taking damage. Because anytime that you absolutely force damage, that's not cool. Of course, you know, this game has some design flaws, some large design flaws, but that one I'm okay with. Dang it. Garb, there's so many things that, like, I would normally complain about, but this game actually has workarounds that make it acceptable to me.
Oh yeah.
Makes me angry because I want to like say that this is a bad game and I want to hate it, but I don't. I actually really enjoy the stages that we've seen today. Yeah, Tetsuya needs to get hustling because Pika Pals is on the level after Tetsuya and already has 68%. I don't know if there is a way for Tetsuya to catch up at this point. It is only 2.5 minutes left.
It will be really hard, unfortunately. But yeah, Pika Pals is really doing well here, and it looks like he's supposed to finish the stage.
Yeah, I'd say that, like, people are saying that falling down to get some of the collectibles is frustrating, but at the same time, you don't have to collect 100%. If there's a collectible that you see that you want to pass by, then pass it by. Go and get something else. It's fine. See, I keep having reasons to forgive design issues that would normally make a collectathon extremely frustrating and possibly unforgiving. But I keep forgiving this one. Now, that blind jump in order to get to the platform to the left, I'm not a fan of. Okay, so this game has some blind jumps, some objects that are not going to be possible to see in order to avoid them that insta-kill you. Those are fairly large issues. But the amount of good in this is definitely a good way. Like, this is something to look at that, you know, says the designers definitely cared about this game and, you know, put a lot of heart into the creation for sure. And for that, I have to say kudos to the devs. Now, we've got less than a minute left.
Ooh. So yeah, to my knowledge, you can't do that, Kavis.
I mean, I think there might be a hold up in order to look up, but it still doesn't move very far up. Take a note from Super Mario World. If you want to look up, you can really look up. Or a note from other games that let you scroll the map around. For collectathons, that's extremely helpful. Do you really want to run around an entire level just to never find what you were looking for because it was back where you started? No, nobody likes that. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Like, that never needs to happen, video game devs. You do not have... Frustration is not... Well, some types of frustration are fun, but that kind is not okay. Well, you know what's not okay? The fact that we had to turn that music off because it's so good. That's time, everybody! We are through the match! And towards the end, Pika Pals managed to turn this match around and move into first place. Let me go ahead and invite them into voice if they would like to come and talk. Garb, how do you think they did?
They did well, yeah. This, especially with hard mode, it can be tricky to get everything, and so yeah, they did well.
Very, very nice. I'm inviting them to come and chat if they would like. I would love to hear some opinions about this. And Pika Pals is here. Hello, Pika Pals.
Hey.
Okay, it looks like Tetsuya is here as well. Hello there, Tetsuya.
Hello.
So let me go ahead and reveal because I don't think anybody has told you quite yet. Tetsuya, you were in the lead for a long time, but Pika Pals in about I'd say the last 11 or 12 minutes managed to pass you.
Oh, man.
Took the victory. Pika Pals, you got it. You're the Ottifant of the day.
Only wasted 3 continues on that third building zone stage.
Yeah, that one tilted me.
Yeah.
Did you actually need the spring?
The spring?
That spring power up.
I don't know. I don't think you had actually Garb is the expert here. Spring power up, is that something that you needed to get through that third area in the building, or second or third, or
it's not necessary, but it definitely helps.
Not necessary, definitely helpful. Okay.
I could not find another way through that.
Yeah. Someone else is bringing up the double jump power up that can help.
Yeah, that was
the
tower.
spring.
Oh, well, there you go. Same thing. So I have to ask what your thoughts are about this game.
Ooh, that one was rude.
Okay, here's the deal.
So rude.
I spent a lot of the time like praising the looks and the music of the game. What was rude about it, Tetsuya?
Just all the one-hit kills, hidden under blind jumps, the fact that you controlled like a bathtub, like
You control like a bathtub.
you try to stop running and it takes about 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an issue, yeah.
I recently waxed all the floors in this office, as well as all of the outside of the building zone.
I think
okay.
that's
It was no
something
crazy climber.
I was gonna say I've played this a little bit, and it's slippery, and it's not really. You're not really able to see how slippery it is until you play it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when there's so much of the level that needs you to do pretty close precision jumps, and you don't have a handle on when you're going to stop. It's like Mario 3 with all ice physics, and it's Kaiza at the same time.
Okay, so everybody, I was just about to say, like, towards the end of the match, how good this game is. Thank you so much for taking my expectations back down, okay? But back down. Just because the game looks good and can, like, sounds good, doesn't mean the game is necessarily good. And just because a game has bad physics doesn't mean that the game is unenjoyable, per se, because, like, I feel like there are a lot of things that the game devs threw in there that were actually very good ideas. And the fact that the music in the tower, or the office buildings, is so rockin', like, I can deal with a lot of the crap.
Yeah, I had fun for the most part. It was just that one stage that really threw me off, I think.
Yeah, sounds about right. Tetsuya, I've talked to Tetsuya a little bit. Pika Pals, was there anything that, like, you enjoyed about the game particularly that maybe I haven't mentioned so far? Something that, like, made it a little bit more tolerable for you? Or something that you really hated that we haven't mentioned? That is possible too.
I don't know. I definitely had some interesting ideas. I do like the platforms that you have to move on your own are kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's like I saw you guys doing that, and I was thinking, I don't know of any games that don't have a vacuum where you're able to, like, suck platforms across the stage. But even the ones that have some sort of vacuum mechanic, it still is extremely rare. And that was a nifty little addition. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I liked the levels and stuff overall, I think, but just everything is one-hit KOs all over the place is rough.
Yeah, one-hit KOs. As you said, you control like a bathtub, and sometimes the objects are just right out of view for the camera, and because of that, you can just jump into it and not realize.
Yeah.
Tetsuya, I have an important question to ask you.
Yeah.
What was the password for the tower?
I have no idea.
Pika Pals, what's the password for the tower?
The one we're on, I think it's HMXT.
I think you got it. Yep.
Yeah. I was under the impression that we had to do the ZYAT password every time we game over.
Nope. If you collect any passwords, unless it's specifically mentioned that you cannot, then you should. And yeah, I was like, we saw you go back to the construction site, and I was like, oh no, password boss again. The password boss always comes and haunts people's dreams, though. That's what happens.
Yeah, it did take time. It wasn't actually that bad getting back to, I guess, the level I was walled on.
Yeah, I'd say if ever in doubt, try something that is going to let you be farther ahead. And if for some reason it is against the rules of the match, we will let you know. We will definitely yell at you if it's wrong. But yeah, otherwise, seriously, this was a fun watch. I do think that the password is the final determination for who won and who didn't. But at the same time, Pika-Pals, you were making really good progress through the offices once you got there. This was a lot of fun to watch. So thank you both so much. Yeah, anything else you want to say before we take off?
Not really. Don't add deceleration to your platforming games. All you game devs out there. Little bit okay. Maybe like a full second of it. A little bit much. A little bit much.
Yeah, if you have Marbled Madness momentum in a platformer, you're probably not doing it quite
That's exactly
right.
what it felt like.
Right.
Well, perfect. Good game, both of you. Seriously, this was a lot of fun. And Garby, thank you for bringing this back and opening my eyes to just how awesome some of the levels look and sound in this game. Tetsuya, thank you for reminding me how terrible some of the music sounds.
No problem.
Okay, I'll see y'all later. Take care.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.